Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and I've been checking out some of the new features on the watchOS 7 beta. Features like new watch faces, sleep tracking, and some others that Apple did not cover in their presentation. So let's go over all the changes that Apple made to watchOS 7. Now before we get into this video, I just wanted to mention that this channel is getting so close to 100,000 subscribers, and I really do have to thank each and every one of you who has actually watched one of my videos, left a like or a comment, and of course, if you subscribe. So if you're watching this video now and you aren't a subscriber already, consider getting on board the Greg train as we get over to 100,000. And again, thank you so much for helping me reach this very important milestone. But enough about me, let's get all into these new features and changes. So of course, with every new watchOS release, Apple always releases a couple of new watch faces. And watchOS 7 is no different. So the most detailed one of these new watch faces is what they call the Chronograph Pro watch face, which includes a tachymeter. In the center of the watch, a tachymeter measures speed based on travel time or measures distance based on speed. To get this measurement, all you have to do is press the center of this watch face and then you can start recording that measurement. You also get 4 complications in each corner of the watch face, and as you can see, as we start to scroll through these complications, Apple has changed the interface of changing these complications. Third-party developers now have access to making multiple complications which can detail different things. Right now, only Apple has these ready, and you can see if I tap more on the weather section, you can see the multiple options like rain, temperature, UV index, and more. Now, the Chronograph Pro is technically really the only new watch face, however, there are some other additions to watch faces that already existed. There's new options on the extra large watch face where you can now add a giant complication to go along with this watch face. And in the Photos one, you can now add a different color filter to that photo directly on the watch. Furthermore, after spending time customizing all of these watch faces with different styles, colors, and complications, you now have the ability to share that watch face by long pressing on the watch and tapping the new Share Sheet button. From there, it pops up a message and you can send your watch face over to someone through iMessage. Apple also plans to allow watch faces to be shared in other ways, like through websites. Now, if you notice, as I was entering these sharing sections and editing my watch face, I wasn't exactly force touching the Apple Watch because that has now been replaced by a long press. As it seems that Apple has gotten rid of the force touch function, which requires you to press firmly on the display to surface these dialogues. And this long press so far only works when editing or sharing a watch face, so in other areas of watchOS where you used to be able to force touch on the display to get shortcuts, that no longer works. Personally, I'm a little upset about this change. I used force touch a lot on my Apple Watch to surface those quick actions, and now with it gone, I'm finding it harder to navigate through watchOS 7's user interface. I've also noticed because they got rid of the force touch options, there's a lot of new interface UI cues, like scrolling up now to find a new message section, or sometimes scrolling down to the bottom of the app finds additional options. Overall, the new watch faces are okay, nothing that I think I would really use for my daily watch face. The multiple complications interest me a little more, as it is a half step before third parties can start to develop their own Apple Watch faces, but right now, considering this is the first beta, it's hard to see how much support developers will take advantage of this feature. Now, I think by far one of the biggest additions to watchOS 7 is the ability to get sleep tracking on your Apple Watch just through a software update with no additional hardware purchase. On the watchOS 7 beta, you can find the sleep app already installed on the watch, which is in the form of a blue circle with a white bed icon in the middle. When you first launch this app, it prompts you to set up your bedtime, which I have already done. You can then set how many hours you want to sleep for, and the Apple Watch will even set an alarm for you. This alarm uses the watch's haptic engine to vibrate on your wrist, and if you don't put your watch on silence mode, it will also play an alarm sound through the built-in speaker. You can also see some important metrics in this sleep app. When you scroll down, you can see how long you've been asleep for, and your overall sleep pattern for the last 2 weeks. You can edit this sleep schedule further by making a custom sleep schedule for each individual day, and set sleep goals as well as a wind down option, which will enable automatically as your set time to start reducing distractions, like enabling Do Not Disturb mode. To activate sleep mode, simply access the control center and tap on the sleep mode icon on the bottom of the watch. From there, your watch will automatically dim the display and enter Do Not Disturb mode. Doing this also enters Do Not Disturb mode on your iPhone. When your watch face turns off, the display won't turn back on unless you tap it, and then it only displays the date, time, and alarm set for a brief period. To wake your watch, you need to rotate the digital crown when you wake up in the morning, and then you are greeted by a good morning screen which displays date, time, battery life, and weather. During the sleep mode, the watch uses just a little bit of battery, but you might want to charge it as you finish your morning routine, like eating breakfast or showering. When your watch is fully done charging, you'll even get a notification sent directly to your iPhone. You can also find even more sleep statistics in the Health app on your iPhone. Overall, I'm pretty glad that Apple has decided to add in a native sleep function into the Apple Watch, although it really is too early for me to tell just how good their implementation of sleep tracking is. I've only been able to test out sleep tracking for the past 2 days, and my sleep schedule isn't exactly very normal right now as I'm making a lot of these videos covering WWDC. I will say though that the watch alarm has managed to wake me up for the past 2 days now. Furthermore, the sleep tracking feature doesn't seem to drain much battery life in this mode, so if you're on top of charging it before you go to bed, or in the morning after you wake up, I think managing battery life should prove pretty easy for most users. Speaking of battery, there's also a new battery section on the Apple Watch, which gives you a little chart of your charging cycle, and you can find this in the settings. This is a very similar chart to the one you would find on your iPhone. And if you scroll down, you can even see now that the Apple Watch includes a battery health section. So you can see the remaining battery life percentage of the lithium-ion battery inside of your Apple Watch. As you can see, I've been wearing the Series 5 Apple Watch ever since it's been released, and the battery has decreased by 4% effectiveness overall, giving me a maximum capacity of 96%. Inside the battery app, you'll also find Apple's new optimized battery charging setting. This is a nice addition to educate users more on how battery life impacts their Apple Watch, and I'm happy that Apple is being more transparent with these battery statistics instead of letting the user guess if they have a bad battery in their device or if it's something else causing them to experience shorter battery life throughout the day. These battery life features only serve to educate the customer even more and just let you know how your device is functioning. Apple has also added some new workouts within watchOS 7. New workouts like functional strength training, core training, and a cool down mode. There's also a dancing workout, which unfortunately I will not be demoing for you today. There's also a hand washing feature on watchOS 7. I couldn't demo it in my normal filming situation, but if you wash your hands by a sink, the Apple Watch uses the motion of your hands and the sound of running water to display a 20-second timer, which is the recommended amount of time you should be washing your hands. I should also note there's some helpful additions to maps if you're a cyclist. Although I'm not a cyclist, so I can't test this out, but according to Apple, you can get bike-friendly routes, easier search along your commute for cafes, bike shops, and even routes based on traffic and indications that you might have to climb some stairs. Apple has also surfaced some improvements to Siri on the Apple Watch as well. First of all, Siri on the Apple Watch gets a redesign much like it does on the iPhone and iPad. Now, when you activate Siri, you are greeted by a big circular Siri icon. Siri can now also do translations directly on the Apple Watch in multiple languages and will even speak out the translation to you through the built-in speaker, as well as offer helpful pronunciation below the translation. Apple has also improved on-device dictation for the Apple Watch. And overall, the dictation seems to be fairly accurate and responsive, dictating text faster than I remembered watchOS 6 doing. And I was overall pretty impressed by the accuracy and speed of the on-device dictation through my short demo. Apple is also improving hearing health on watchOS 7. Supposedly, according to Apple's website, they will be monitoring your hearing even when you're using earbuds, so they will be tracking just how loud you're listening to your music, and then they might actually send you a notification recommending you to turn down your music to the recommended safe levels as issued by the World Health Organization. This will be based on a recommended safe weekly listening dose, and will now include weekly listening summaries, as well as the option to reduce loud sounds and volume reduction inside of your headphones. As for compatibility, watchOS 7 will be compatible on Apple Watch Series 3, Apple Watch Series 4, and of course Apple Watch Series 5, so it's dropping support for the Apple Watch Series 2. And overall, while I think watchOS 7 includes some really nice and important features like sleep tracking, that's been one of the health features that the Apple Watch has been distinctly missing, and it's been a large feature request not only from me, but from multiple users, I really feel like this year's watchOS 7 isn't that big of an update. However, watchOS 7 continues to make a bunch of small minor improvements that refine the overall experience of using and owning an Apple Watch. But with this software release, there's nothing new or revolutionary about how the Apple Watch works. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you leave me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, well, make sure you're subscribed. Also, be sure to let me know, what do you think of watchOS 7 overall? What were some of your favorite features? And do you agree with me that this was kind of a pretty minor update? Also, if you want to connect more with me, don't forget to check out our Discord in the description, as well as follow me along on Twitter. I'll be posting some more updates about the beta there. And also, don't forget to support the channel by checking out links in the description. I'll include an affiliate link to purchase either the Apple Watch Series 3 or the Apple Watch Series 5. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.